everybody, Crafting Journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. Welcome to Crafting and Crime. I wasn't going to do a show today, but when I looked up where we are going for the retreat, it's only 4 hours away. So Tia and I decided we would just have a relaxing morning. We both had showers. We're going to have some breakfast, and then we'll get on the road. So I thought, hey, let's do my show. So I got up really early this morning. So I was sitting there crocheting. The cats are in here. Sitting there crocheting. And while I was crocheting, got a little cat caper for you. Take a look. This is what they were doing this morning while I was crocheting. Wrestling on the bed. So I was listening to the trial. So I can bring you some updates on some of the testimony that occurred yesterday. But first, yes. Oh, I packed my journal, my planner. Let's get it out. It's packed. We will unpack it. Here it is. Because I thought, I'm going to bring it. I want to, document. This is more of a diary for me than anything else, I think, than planning ahead of time. I do like to put birthdays in here. So if you have a birthday coming up, let me know. And the lighting is weird today, isn't it? Let me know when your birthday is, and I'll write it in my planner. Okay. Retreat day. Yes. Okay. Looks like I packed the pen, too. Okay. Well, we have a pencil. Is that it? We have a pencil? Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll do. That'll do. Okay. Whoop, doop, doo. Okay. Today is National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. Chocolate. We love chocolate. Chocolate. Covered pretzels. Tomorrow's Friday. There will be no show tomorrow. So I'll do a Thursday dance. How about that? Thursday dance. Thursday dance. Last night, Tia and my sister and I were doing karaoke. Oh my God. We were having a blast. This lighting is really killing me. Hold on. Adjust the lighting. Sorry about that. I had to adjust the lighting. The lighting was terrible. So I think I got that fixed. And then what is this day in history? Okay. I remember. Okay. Fun weekend. We're going to repack the planner. Hey, bye. Hey, see. What you doing, Toots? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. So, do I want to diamond paint? Diamond painting. Diamond painting. Okay, I'll get some drills out. Hold on. Let us find the proper drill. Oh, there's some spilled on here. This happens in the world of diamond painting. I'm actually bringing some diamond paintings to the retreat that I do not think I will ever get to. So I'm going to give them away. I think there's like a little table there that you can put stuff on if you want to give stuff away. I'm going to give away some diamond paintings. Yep. And I would do it on the channel, but it's kind of expensive to ship anything nowadays. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yep. And some of them are some older diamond art clips. Where is this drill that I want? It's like a little plus sign. There's a lot of colors in this painting, let me just tell you. Where is it? Okay, I found it. $37.99. There we go. There we go. So this is not the painting I'm bringing to the retreat. I'm bringing the who's your doggy painting. So, okay. Did I pack all the trays? No, I did not. I have a tray. Okay. I'd rather use the pink tray, though, I think. Let's use the pink tray. Oh my, we're really wobbly today, aren't we? What's going on here? Let me tighten this desk up. Holy moly. I think it's time for a new desk. I really do. I think maybe in the new year when I get a tax break. I even packed all my placers. This one has no wax in it. Clearly was not anticipating doing a show today. Oh, where's the wax? Wax on, wax off. No, that's not it. We have wax somewhere. Oh, here, in here. I found some wax. I found a little heart on the floor. Yes. Okay. There we go. We can do a little single placing. How about that? It is hot in this house today. I don't know what's going on with my AC, but it is warm. Anyway. So let's talk about National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. Oh my God. I love chocolate covered pretzels. What's the origin of it? It's they're dipped. You can dip them in dark milk or white chocolate. Now I'm not a fan of white chocolate, but man, if you give me a dark chocolate covered pretzel, it's that combination of sweet and salty. It's just it satisfies like both your cravings for sweet and salty. So good, so good. There's one tale of a German baker joining forces with his chocolatier neighbor. He made pretzels. His neighbor made chocolate, and so they made these chocolate-covered pretzels. That goes back to the 1500s. Now, nobody really knows if that's how it originated, but it's a thing. So, and I don't like it when the pretzel gets soggy. Like Hershey's makes a pretty good one. The little mini pretzels covered in chocolate. It's not something I indulge in often, but today would be a day to do so, wouldn't it? Okay, let's turn the light pad on. This is such a dark canvas that I really need the light pad to get these squares where they're supposed to be. There we go. So I know that if you are not going to the retreat, I think there's a bunch of fun stuff planned. There's some Zooms going on. Contact my friend Cheryl Katz. She is on Facebook Messenger. Cheryl with an S. Katz, K-A-T-Z. If you're interested, I think she's got some cool stuff planned. And my friend Mickey Sunshine Creates. She's also got some stuff planned. You can contact her if you want to get in on it. That's Mickey Sunshine Creates and Cheryl Katz, the two of them. I really don't know what it is. I try to stay out of all that stuff. I'm just like, I'm focused on the retreat, not the. I think they're calling it the Zoom retreat, something like that. Anyway, it's a cute idea. It really is. So let's see. Okay. Let's talk about the trial. This is going to be a quick show today. My sister's going to be making waffles. So I was, this is the trial of Mark Gooch, who's been alleged to have abducted, kidnapped and killed Sasha Krause. She was a Mennonite girl. She lived in this Farmington community in New Mexico, 7 hours away from where Mark Gooch lived at the Air Force Base in Arizona. So the first witness that we see is a DNA analysis expert. Now, so what we're finding out is that, there were so many different agencies involved in this investigation. The agency in New Mexico, eventually the FBI, the Coconino Sheriff's Department, the OSI from the Air Force, and all of them sent evidence to separate labs. So What we're hearing from the DNA analysis uh, person that's on the stand on this particular day is the same thing we've heard from all of these other um, forensic scientists, is that they could not identify any DNA. They couldn't get any DNA on him. So he has forensically, there has been nothing to tie him to the murder of Sasha Krause forensically. Now, we've got that cell phone evidence, which is pretty damning. We all know that. So he's got to overcome that. But what you're going to hear today, and I will try to listen to it. You know, I usually get up really early in the mornings, and that's when I listen. So I'll try to listen to that tomorrow morning. Will be ballistic testimony from ballistic experts, and I do know from listening to a hearing about this that the defense does plan on putting a ballistic expert on the stand to counter what the state's ballistic expert is going to say. So, is he actually going to get on the stand and say no, that wasn't his, that bullet didn't come from his gun? That's going to be really interesting. So what are we supposed to believe, that he just dropped her off there at the Sun Crater Loop Road area and left her to die, and then somebody else came and shot her with a rifle? I don't know. It's going to be interesting testimony, but we do start to hear the testimony of the lead detective, and it's a woman. She talks about how they actually identified Mark as a suspect when the body was found. They her office got involved. She was called, and by the sound of what had occurred, she said it was very difficult to hear the phone call because they don't get very good cell phone reception out where this body was found. So she went ahead. She heard enough to know that I need to go respond to this. So she goes out there. She responds to the scene. She takes some pictures. Here's a picture. It's not gory or anything, but this is a picture of how the body looked when it was found. I mean, it's not. You can look. It's not gory. It's. I might even believe. I would. I don't think it's black and white, but she was wearing a gray dress and black, brown shoes. So and she's up against some bushes, face down, so she can't see her hands or her arms and can't see her face. But we know she's dead. And then, as far as like footprints or anything like that, um, it really wasn't a place where you would get footprints. It was kind of a gravelly area. So when you walked, it kind of just indented into the gravel. And if you look in that photograph, I'll put it up again, you can see where the officers had to put imprints into that gravel, because they said they always try to follow the same path in and out. So they can look around to see if there's any other displacement of the gravel. But, so much time had passed that, they probably weren't going to find that. Because they find her in April. No, they find her in February. I apologize. They find her in February 21st. So she goes back to her office and she has a briefing with the police agency from New Mexico, and they turn over all the evidence that they've collected, all the interviews that they've done, and they did have the cell phone records of Sasha Cohen, but they had not pulled any cell tower records because they didn't have her body. So they only had 2 of 3 locations. They knew where she started out from, which would be the church. They knew where the cell phone died at, but they didn't know where the body was. So they didn't get the tower records. So she, at this point, the lead investigator contacts this expert, Mr. Dishman, that we heard from, that did that fancy PowerPoint where we see where he goes and where Sasha's phone goes, and they're going together. He did that, but what he did was he helped her out to formulate a proper subpoena to get the records that she needed. So she was able to get cell tower records for Sasha's phone from AT&T. So then what they did was they sat and they analyzed those cell phone records to see if there were any other phones that traveled that same location from the Farmington community or compound, as they call it, to where her cell phone cuts out to where the body was found. And there was only one other phone, and that was Mark Gooch's that did that same route. So this is how they identified him as a suspect. So then they bring him in under the guise, the detective, now she knows that this guy's a suspect. He's in the Air Force. She contacts the Office of Special Investigations, OSI. So she goes and she meets with them and she gives them a briefing of what this all is about. So they call Mark and say, we need you to come in for your analysis, which happens all the time in the military. It's not unusual. So he's like, yeah, okay. He drops by for his urinalysis. And dude, guess what? We're here for an interview instead. And she even apologized. I'm sorry I tricked you, but we needed to get you in here and ask you a few questions. And then she lies to him and tells him, we're investigating this murder, and we have this tag, this thing that reads tags on the highway, and so I'm investigating everybody's tag that we saw, and yours was one of the tags, and you're allowed to do that during an interview. You're allowed to lie. So she lied. And the first thing she asked him was, have you traveled anywhere since you moved to Luke Air Force Base? He'd only been there since October. And he said, no, he hadn't. And then later on, he admits that he had traveled up to this New Mexico area because he wanted to go to this particular ski resort. But when he got there, the ski resort was closed. So then he had been looking for a Mennonite church that he could attend. And so he looked up and he saw that there was this Mennonite church in Farmington. And he does admit that he stopped for gas and that he went to that Farmington community to see if they had any Saturday night services. And when he got there, he realized that they did not. So he left and he went back home. And that's his story. Now, his body language during this interview, he's very controlled. He's always holding his hand. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask my son if they're trained in interview techniques, like in case they're ever captured, like POWs. Like, are they trained in how to respond and deception? I don't know. But he doesn't get flustered. His cheeks get a little red, but so I did not listen to the entire thing. I will admit that. By that time, we were all waking up, and yeah. So we know that he lied during the interview. I'll see if I can listen to the rest of the interview and what the ballistics people have to say. I think there was one more witness that another forensic scientist that I also missed. So, but we do know that, from the hearing that I heard, that there is no forensic evidence that ties Mark Gooch to this case. The thing that ties him to this case is that cell tower record, the cell phone records. That's it. So let's see what the ballistics show. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kitty, what are you doing? Stitch, hi, buddy. I have the curtain open and he's looking out the window. What you doing, Stitch? What you doing? So let's talk about this day in history. I just got to look up the year. What year was it? It was in the 70s. So on this day in history, October 6th, 1975. So the Vietnam War is underway. There's all these protesters, and John Lennon has all this anti-war music. So the government is thinking, he's not a U.S. citizen. We need to get him out of here because his music is geared toward 18 to 25-year-olds, and that's who, they're going to be starting to vote soon, and these are the people that are protesting the war, and we don't need him inciting these people. So they contact the immigration and naturalization people, and they issue a deportation order for him and his wife, Oko Ono, to go back to the UK. So he fights it, and he spent 4 years fighting it. And so finally in 1975, on October 7th, a New York judge overturns it. And he said clearly, just the fact that he fought it for 4 years shows that he's very tied to the U.S. The United States, and the court also said the courts will not condone selective deportation based upon secret political grounds. That was terrible. They're like, we don't like his message, so we're gonna get rid of him. Yeah, and his message was not so overt. It was kind of subtle, but they didn't like it. Boy, the government just does whatever they want, don't they? So a year later, he actually ended up getting his green card, and he stayed in the U.S. until he was assassinated. So, short show today because I need to go get breakfast and get on the road. But I did promise you updates on the trial. So because I don't want to lose sight of that. I don't know past the ballistic experts that there is much more testimony. I think at that point it will probably go to the jury tomorrow, and I will be on jury watch for you guys over the weekend, in addition to having fun at the retreat. So, guys, I love you all. Take care.